The Trump administration has expanded tariffs on steel and aluminum imports. A new 50% rate now applies to more than 400 goods containing these metals. For American consumers, that means higher prices on canned food, cars, electronics, and household appliances. For businesses, it means uncertainty, with no grace period. Even products already on ships instantly became more expensive when the policy took effect. The list is long and familiar: wires and cables, car parts, refrigerators, and soda cans, items millions of Americans use every day. The impact is already visible. By late July, domestic steel was nearly 9% higher than a year earlier. Aluminum was up more than 13%. These costs flow directly into cars, refrigerators, and grocery store shelves. Factories across the Midwest are feeling the strain. Manufacturers note that certain types of aluminum are not produced in the US at all. That means tariffs simply raise costs without creating local alternatives. Large corporations may absorb some increases, but smaller firms cannot. As they scale back, towns dependent on manufacturing lose the very jobs tariffs were meant to protect. Across the border, Canada has taken the opposite path. Ottawa quickly responded with 25% counter tariffs on $30 billion worth of US goods. It introduced tariff rate quotas to limit foreign steel, changed procurement rules to favor Canadian firms, and prepared financial support for domestic aluminum producers. The goal: protect jobs, stabilize supply chains, and strengthen industry. The contrast is striking. In the US, tariffs were sold as a promise to bring jobs back. Instead, they've fueled inflation and layoffs. In Canada, countermeasures are reinforcing resilience. The clash has now spread to USMCA, the North American Trade Pact not scheduled for review until 2026. Even so, it has already been pulled into tariff politics. Washington accuses Ottawa of undermining the deal, while Canadian leaders warn Trump could reopen negotiations early. The stakes are high. Roughly 80 to 85% of Canada's exports to the US currently qualify for duty-free treatment under USMCA. If exemptions are rolled back, costs would rise sharply on both sides of the border. Trump's team argues every agreement is subject to review if it no longer serves US interests, pointing to Canada's retaliation as grounds to reopen talks. Prime Minister Mark Carney's strategy has been one of patience. Canada is strengthening non-US trade alliances, deepening ties with Mexico, Europe, and the UK, while quietly ensuring that most exports remain compliant with USMCA rules. The country also holds powerful bargaining chips: oil, natural gas, uranium, electricity, and critical minerals essential for US supply chains. By August 1, Trump followed through with new tariffs, a 35% blanket rate on goods deemed non-compliant with USMCA. Yet one sector was left untouched: Canadian oil. Canada supplies up to 70% of US crude imports, around 4 million barrels per day. US refineries are designed for this supply, making it too critical to target. Even in copper, where tariffs hit semi-finished goods, Canada largely exports forms that remain unaffected. In effect, Ottawa has shaped its trade flows to minimize exposure, turning Trump's tariff escalation into a louder threat than the actual impact. But the story didn't stop with economics. Just before the deadline, Trump tied trade negotiations to Canada's recognition of Palestinian statehood, shifting the debate from tariffs to geopolitics. Suddenly, the message to Canada was clear: even if Ottawa conceded on trade, political conditions might still block a deal. Carney's government chose calculation over panic. Experts noted Canada still holds a stronger position than South Korea or the EU, both of which now face blanket US tariffs. By refusing to rush, Ottawa is preserving leverage and safeguarding strategic sectors. Trump's tariffs make bold headlines. But beneath the surface, Canada's most vital exports, energy, minerals, and integrated auto components, are still moving. The question now is whether Trump has overplayed his hand, applying pressure without cutting into the core of North American trade. This is True Estate Report. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.